The specialized classroom management program is designed specifically for educators working primarily in special ed programs where kids would be in potentially self-contained classrooms for at least 50% of their school day, as well as various kinds of alternative type programs where kids are in need of not only some extra academic help, but certainly with a lot of focus on behavior. So the training really encompasses several things. One is obviously, if you know anything about Boys Town, the common thread that runs through all of our programs is certainly our social skills model and that social skills curriculum, and how to incorporate that along with the academic focus you have in your classroom, but really an extra emphasis on kids' behavior and their social skills. Along with that, then, is we do spend a lot of time talking about specific strategies. How do you actually go about implementing those social skills into your classroom? And so we really focus on some real practical strategies. The first one being just helping you learn how to be more proactive with your students. Oftentimes we feel like we're just reacting from one situation to the next. So how can we be more purposeful? How can we be better at identifying where kids' trouble spots might be or situations that they might typically have trouble? And so having a plan and a course of action to identify those areas, talk with kids, preferably at neutral times, and work with them on those trouble areas so that when situations do come up, they might be more likely to be successful. So it really is just about having some strategies to help set kids up to be successful. From there, we certainly talk a lot about how to be more reinforcing and positive with kids, catching them being good, helping certainly build on the strengths that kids do have, working on areas maybe where kids aren't maybe as strong, because we know that even your most challenging kids still have skills that they're good at. Problem is we don't oftentimes see those behaviors enough. So how can we reinforce those things and help kids learn to get their needs met through positive behavior versus the alternative? And then we certainly talk an awful lot about how to respond to difficult behavior. We know that kids are going to be kids. They're going to make poor choices. There's going to be behavior that from very minor disruptive behavior all the way up to things that could be potentially much more escalated, and certainly everything in between. And so being able to manage yourself, manage other students that might be in the area, and then certainly with a lot of focus on that student that might be exhibiting some difficult behavior. And so being able to then have some strategies to deal with that, and then certainly bring it to closure by identifying behavior or the skills that are deficit, and then actively teaching more appropriate alternatives. And the vehicle that really drives all that is unique to the specialized classroom management program is our motivation system, or the token economy, or a 3-level point system, which is really designed to provide the structure that oftentimes kids in those kinds of programs tend to need. And again, sometimes staff need that structure to operate within as well. The program is going to certainly provide a lot of incentives for kids to improve their behavior. Again, with that token economy, there's kind of a point exchange system to encourage positive behavior and certainly give kids reason to want to maybe turn around some potentially more challenging type behavior. So the token economy will provide that structure for the kids that are in those kind of programs. So if you have any other questions or anything that you'd like to talk about in regards to this training or any of the others that we have to offer, we'd certainly love to have that conversation with you. So feel free to either give us a call or you can reach us via email, and we'd be happy to talk with you and look forward to the opportunity to potentially working with you in your school.